have to be the not stupid generation in order to enact change, in order to prevent this from happening. And actually, this isn't something to be that angry about, because people before us didn't know, so it's a bit redundant to be angry over. This is actually kind of exciting. We get to be the generation that initiates the way forward, that finds the solution. From now on, in every degree course you do, in every job you go into, in every role you play in society, you're now an agent for creating this change. Everything you do has an influence that creates positive change for the future. I think that's thrilling. I think that's opening doors all over the place for us. And actually, that's where 1010 came from. The director of Age of Stupid, who founded 1010, she got faced with a lot of comments at the end of the film. You know, this is very negative, doesn't really help. But also, well, what should we do? You've told us what the problem is. What's the solution? So she thought about it. She read a few scientific reports. She thought about the other problems, which is that, for example, targets for reducing emissions in 2050. I mean, how old we are in 2050 is a great campaign because it makes it a bit more real, but still, you're planning more than about 5 years ahead at the moment. It's really difficult to try and think about what's going on in 2050. So she's like, okay, we need something that's immediate. So we need something that's in the next 2 years that will have a real impact. And then she thought about what sort of the targets at the moment. I know a council that's got 350,000 grand recently to reduce its emissions by 0.5%. That's not particularly ambitious. I don't think 0.5% is really going to sort of prevent this. So we're like, okay, we need something immediate. We need something ambitious. Let's do 10% in a year. 10-10. 10% by the end of 2010. So we launched on the 1st of September, about 3 months after the idea came up. And our initiative is, the idea is to get everybody in the UK signed up to 1010 and pledging to reduce their emissions by 10% in the year 2010. But it's not just individuals, as many individuals as possible could sign up. But what it does is what the gentleman over there was saying, it's really important that we all come together on this. Not just as single people, but bring our local businesses, our local councils, our MPs, let's get them all signed up to 1010. Because then we're enacting positive changes in emissions and we're acting them immediately. So we launched on the 1st of September. Right now we've got 50,000 organisations, businesses, individuals signed up, including the Cabinet, the Shadow Cabinet, but also companies like Adidas, for example, signed up to pledge to reduce their emissions. Pret a Manger. We're taking this out of sort of a sustainability officer in a dark back corner. We're making it mainstream, which is really where it needs to be. Birmingham Student Union have signed up to 1010, which is fabulous. Congratulations, anyone here from Birmingham Student Union. Great to have you on board. I think it's a really exciting moment because there are several scenes in this film where you see people looking really stupid. I think particularly my favourite example is the woman who's just like, oh, we've opposed the wind farm, we've won. And she's like, yeah, of course, climate change, it's really serious. You know, we need alternative forms of fuel. She looks like a complete idiot. And we've reached a point now where if you still sort of harken back to this archaic notion of depending on fossil fuels of industry, of that sort of last century idea, we're looking a little bit ridiculous because we need to be looking forward. We need to be looking at new ideas, new initiatives, embracing them. And a lot of the people in this room will develop careers off the back of that, going into sustainability industries, which is fabulous. We are the first not stupid generation, one hopes. And that's why 1010 is incredibly important, because it's about sort of kick-starting the initiative for that future. Government always says, oh, people, we don't get the public support from people. Businesses are going to get really cross if we're too tough on them. Businesses say, oh, well, you know, we don't want to get caught out by government legislation. And people, frankly, say, if it was that important, government would already be doing something about it. So we've created 1010 as a movement to bring all of those people together to take the first ambitious step forward, which is something that I hope you'll all join in with. If you haven't already, please go to www.1010uk.org and make the pledge to cut your own emissions. But then I think it's important to take this further. So, for example, on Thursday we're going to have our first 1010 town. That is a whole town, businesses, individuals, councils, MPs coming together to reduce their emissions by 10% in a year. That's an immediate impact, an immediate difference. And I'd ask you all to think about what you can do. I mean, this basically what we want to do is empower everyone to use their networks and their connections and go out and think about, okay, who can I sign up right now to reduce their emissions by 10%? What networks am I part of, you know? Is the Birmingham rugby team signed up yet? Who knows? Should they? Absolutely. What about bigger networks? Can you bring wider groups together? And that's what we really encourage people to do. I was thinking a Birmingham rugby team haven't signed up. You're shaking your head at me, Dom. Okay. Well, I mean, that's what we hope you do. Make a personal pledge, but also encouraged to take immediate action. So if you're going to do anything when you leave the auditorium tonight, think about what you can do straight away. Can you contact 10 friends and get them all to pledge to reduce their emissions by 10%? So I give you those as hopefully something positive that you can take out of watching this movie, because there is a positive, a hopeful future, a future where we make a change, we make differences, we lead a new lifestyle going forward. And yeah, so 2 things. I encourage you to sign up to 1010 and reduce your own emissions. But I also happen to notice that whilst Birmingham Student Union have signed up to 1010, the university hasn't done it. So if you want to all get together and consider perhaps how you can make this university use less electricity, turn down its lights, make its own immediate ambitious goal of pledging to reduce by 10%, that might be something positive that can come out tonight that you could do very quickly. But yeah, thank you for your time. And I didn't work on the film, but if you have any questions, I'll endeavour to answer them.